Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018. I'm on to week 30 of competition. And in this week, I'm doing another mashup video. I'm going to finish Season 1. I'm on to the US time trial right now. And we will overlap into the start of Season 2. At least that's the plan. We'll see how that goes as time goes along through the course of this episode. Right now I'm waiting for my entry at the start house. And we'll get underway here shortly. Team objective: win the race. Whoa, that's a little presumptuous. I'm not that good. I was listed among the favorites, but only just inside that top 10. And pulling for a top 10, I think, would be in range, like getting into that Danny Pate kind of range right now, as he's a minute ahead of John Murphy. All right, and here we go. We have 35 Ks on this race, and a pretty decent climb in the middle, and then a lot of downhill after that. Race day condition looking really good. +3 time trial, +5. So I've got a 79 today, plus the stamina and resistance to go with it. I actually do have a chance here. I could have a really good time in this time trial today. Is it going to be enough to win? I don't know. Danny Pate already just got beat by more than a minute. Roskopf and Lawson Craddock of EF Education. Also known as the Dropback Cannondale team. They have such a long name with that Education First sponsorship that they've picked up this year. All right, here is the make or break point. This is where we make our money on this race. Came into it not working too hard, too fast. Didn't want to burn all my energy, and I'm going a bit harder now. Gonna make some really good time on this hill, but we will need to recover on the way down. All right, first little false flat. We still got to get to the top there. We are flying by Nielsen Paulus, so we will definitely have a much better time than him. He is one of the favorites. Looks like I'm one of the last to go. There we go. Up over the top, though, there is one more. First place so far. By what? 51 seconds over Roskopf and Craddock. And I really didn't use that much energy. I should easily be able to recover this on the downhill. Here's that kind of last false flat, and then now we go into that recovery mode. We'll see if we can recover or if we've burned too much. Chad Haga just slipped into second at that first chrono. And he's got to be, there's only, what, 3 riders after me, it looks like. There's Van Garderen slipping into second now. Already recovered a good portion, but there's not a whole lot of downhill left. So I am a little bit under on what I need to get to the end of this race. Meaning there's some potential to lose some time from that first time check. Just about recovered on that now, but also just about to the bottom. Okay, now I'm about even. Here's that last little climb of the day. It's another place to make up or lose time. Okay, that appears to be everyone now. So, I do have the best time at the top of the climb. Okay, just 2 or 3 little rises and falls here. About 5K to go, and I'm just about level on the time here. I've got a chance. I do have a chance in this. But obviously there are 2 good times coming that both should beat Craddock's 50-minute mark. But I now have that little bit extra to push to the end. I'm not going to run out before the line, but it will be close. Just over a K to go. And here we go. Here's that final push. Get that speed going. Get that speed going. And 99. Ran out just at the line. There we go. Best time so far by 1:44. Let's see. Where was I compared to Craddock before? 51 seconds. So I added more time. Roskopf already came across. We've got Haga and Van Garderen. Here comes Haga next. Second, 1:32 off. TJ Van Garderen, last one going. I had 31 seconds on him at the top of the climb. His time trial is a 77, but mine was a 79 on the day. I don't know what his race day condition is. He hasn't crossed. He's coming in late. He's a minute behind. Oh, there was still one more after him. But they didn't fit into the time. I got the win. Hey, look at that. U.S. time trial champion. Let's go ahead and move forward in the timeline a little bit. This is going to be great for the points scoring. All right, on to the USA Championships. Here, my objective, twofold. Finish in the top 20, but also be in the breakaway. Little challenging. I found myself in the breakaway. It says be in the front for 65 of the final 130 kilometers. We just started the last 130K, though I've been in the breakaway since the beginning. I was actually the first one off the front. Overall, it's a 203 kilometer stage. It's the same track in Greenville, North Carolina, that's been run for a number of years. It's a challenging looping track with some steady climbing and downhill, repeated again and again as you loop through this track. So I'm definitely one of the stronger riders here in the breakaway group. We have 9 riders. We've got 5 minutes on the peloton at this point. Though our work rate not that high, meaning I feel like at least at this point we could definitely still be caught. Hopefully it just means that we are waiting on the peloton. They're kind of trying to hold us at about 5 minutes. If they start to close the gap, hopefully we will step up the pace. Race day condition is +1. I'm looking good on my mountain and hill climbing. My downhill is doing all right. Stamina, resistance are looking good. So I do have some good attributes. I did hit my fitness peak. That's largely why I am the USA Time Trial Champion. Can I back that up with the championships, the road race champion as well? Yeah, probably not. But can I manage the top 20? We'll see how that goes. Being in the breakaway will drastically affect that. I could definitely be in the top 9 if the breakaway holds. But if the peloton catch us, it's going to be hard to keep pace with them for all that extra energy burnt while in the breakaway. However, one thing of note, peloton's only got 43 riders in it, so it's not like it's a massive group chasing us down. Alright, let's speed this back up a little bit. It's going to be a while before we get into some heavy racing here. There's a chance I might just hit my breakaway objective and sit up also if the breakaway has shrunk. And then in that sit up, I would rejoin the peloton and then shoot for my top 20 finish. Gotta stay hydrated. That water bottle had gone empty. Okay, we're at about the halfway stage now. There's 50%. And the rain is beginning to fall. This could drastically affect the race. Actually, being in the breakaway group might not be such a bad thing with all that rain, as the peloton could start to see a number of crashes. Alright, pace has picked up. They are inside 3 minutes, and we have decided that it is time to go for it. So the intensity of the race has just increased with just over 80 kilometers to go. And I'm at 75% of my mark. We'll see how that lead's doing. We have stretched it back out a little bit, meaning the field hasn't quite picked up their pace. They initially picked it up. They closed the gap down by a couple minutes, and now here they go again. Now that gap is slowly starting to come down. We'll see how slow. Okay, here comes the first of those crashes. It split the peloton right in half, but there's only a 20-second gap, so... Ooh, no, 2-minute gap. Oh, they're back together. Okay, peloton's back together. Just that one or two riders gone or lost from the fall.
Just thrown in the towel. So this is the last third of the race. Anyone who is gunning for victory has got to make
we have
fairly soon.
5 more times up and over the climb, and a 6th one to near the top for the finish. And here we go again. Heading on up. Still 67k to go. And we still have about 3 minutes, meaning they are not gaining on us right now. The 9 of us are strong enough to keep the field away at the moment, which means it might be in my best interest to stay with it. Now that my breakaway objective is met, this would be that time to sit up and wait for the peloton. I'm going to watch that time. If it starts to crumble away, I will do just that. I will sit up. We are hanging on decently to, 2:35. We've only lost a handful of seconds, so there's no reason for me to go away and leave this group behind. Okay, let's refill that water bottle again. Should be the last time, but with all this climbing, it might need to refill that one more. Here we head to the climb yet again. There you go. You can see the intensity is really starting to ramp up. Speed it up a little bit. I'm going to the front as I'm the strongest climber in the group, which is an advantage for me if we do manage to stay away. Still about 2:15. We've only lost about 20 seconds in 20 kilometers, and there's only 46 left. So by that logic, we'd lose less than a minute over the remainder of the race and still be a minute away heading to the finish. That doesn't mean they can't ramp up the speed a bit more, but at the same time, so can we, as we are on the climb again, 3 more times up and over, 4th time to the top for the finish. Okay, we lost 1 rider off the back. That's going to be one of the big concerns, is how many do we lose? The more we lose, the more we're going to lose pace. There goes 2 off the back. 7 together is still pretty good. I will need support though if I'm going to make it up that climb 3 more times at the front of this group. One of them's already fallen back to the peloton, and our lead is down inside 2 minutes now. Got to keep up the pace. Minute 40 over the lead. Minute 20. They've got some people burying themselves to catch up to us. I can't do that if I have any hopes of winning this thing. See, I am starting to get down there a little bit as I keep having to lead us over the top. Still 7 strong, only a little over a minute though. Peloton is slowly beginning to shrink. But with a minute 10 and only 2 times up and over the climb, we've got a chance. Got a real chance of hanging on. Which means I could be looking at a top 7. And as the strongest climber, I got a chance at the win.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Okay, leads down to a minute. Peloton just split in half. That really helps us. Okay, I'm getting some help on the climb this time. A couple guys really pushing it, trying to break away.
And he moves on to the attack. It could be decisive.
Okay, we lost 1 off the back. The one on the front, he's not going anywhere. We've got him. There you go, 6 back together. 45 seconds. 45 seconds. I'm running low on energy though. This little downhill could recover just a little. Yeah, just a little bit. It's going to be tight. I am looking at a top 26 now. 6 in the breakaway. Oh, Peloton just came back together a little bit. I'm looking good for a top 30. Here we go. Final 6K. We still have not a substantial lead, but 40 seconds is pretty dang good. They're making me lead the way though. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Alright, time for that energy gel. I have just that little bit in the tank. Oh, here goes my energy. There goes my energy.
Again, an attack is launched. The group has to break apart.
Still hanging on to the back though. There's only a couple riders chasing after us. They've caught us. They've caught us. Under 2K to go. And there they go. Strongest riders going off. So no, I'm not gonna. Stetna. Stetna's American? Oh, here comes the whole peloton. Game close. That's why I wanted to sit up to save my energy. Peter Stetna. Orbase is second. Chad Haga, Danny Pate, Ross Kopf, Ben King, Van Garderen in 7th, Evan Huffman, Gavin Mannion's first one that I'm not familiar with. Lawson Craddock, Bookwalter, all the way down in 11th. Wow.
We're waiting for the back markers who appear to be fairly
And I
numerous
just
in this
miss out on the top
race.
20. Are you kidding me?
A rider is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's
21st,
hope it doesn't jeopardize the
22nd,
rest of
something
the
like that.
season. We've just learned of a fall. Let's hope that all riders will get up
22nd.
quickly.
That shouldn't be seen as bad, though, if my objective was top 20. Missing it by 2 places is not a bad performance. And I'll definitely have exceptional when it comes to the breakaway, as I was in the breakaway all the way until the final 2 kilometers.
And here are the key moments of the race.
Made it from about 2K in to 2K to go. And I finished with Paulus. Yeah, there we go. Poor, really? Evaluation is poor. I missed it by 2 places. How is that not okay? That's exceptional, though. So 16 points. I'm getting close to level 12. Manager satisfaction is up there nice and high. I got credit for a double victory for the time trial champion. Apparently that was stage and overall. It's now August, and there have been some developments. First off, I just leveled up. So at level 12 now, I've had a steady increase in a few attributes. Mountain climbing went up +1, so it's at 75 now. So did hills. Time trial was unchanged this time. And then small increases, but a pretty big boost in recovery, up to 73 now. That was a jump of 4. My average, now seen as a 73. So that has moved up quite a bit, and I'm definitely the best on the current team now. Also, new feature in the game this year, and it only comes out on August 1st, so it just went live. Instead of the traditional promotion relegation that the game has had for a number of years, there's rankings. And there won't necessarily be teams promoted and relegated unless they outrank other teams. So you actually have to surpass somebody who's already a World Tour team to replace them as a World Tour team. So looking at those rankings, the 18 current World Tour teams still rank as the top 18 teams. And Cofidis, who's just behind, and the next 3.5-star team, at least currently here in August, is still outside of those rankings. BMC is the team that runs the risk of being knocked off. Trek just above them, an El Jumbo, beyond that an FDJ. So those are the teams in danger of being surpassed, and it looks like Cofidis is the one that could potentially see themselves back on top, as they were previously a World Tour team. It's been, not sure how long it's been, a few years maybe. Fortuneo is that next team just off, and Wanty Group Gobert, which if you watched my 2017 edition, Wanty Group Gobert was the team that I ended up on for my second season, and they did end up getting promoted to World Tour, much to my surprise as I went there. Now, the interesting thing is it's the teams 19 through 45 that will make up Continental Pro. And if you look at that, almost single-handedly, I have clawed Monkeytown up to 40th in the rankings. So it looks like, at least at today's date, there are going to be 5 teams moving from Continental to Continental Pro. And one of those 5 teams is my team, and the highest of those teams. So of all the Continental teams, the non-Continental Pro teams currently, my team has picked up the highest projection and will find themselves competing in the Continental Pro next year. So keeping an eye on this will definitely have an impact. Now, this is projection. It's not guaranteed. It's only August. There's still some time left before the end of the season, and that gets cemented. What date they cement that in, I don't know. I have no idea at this point. So here's the next piece. Contract for 2019. A couple weeks back, I got a message that they will put together a list of teams. And here on the 1st, same day that list came out, here's my list of teams interested in signing me for next season. So let's jump to the contract page and see who is interested in my average 73 racing rider for next year as I head into my 20-year-old season and season number 2. Bahrain Merida, BMC, and then a number of Continental Pro teams. And looking at the rankings, this is one of the 5 going down to Continental. They're going down to Continental. They are going down to Continental. Rally was one of the ones that I had the choice to sign last year and couldn't do it for college reasons, college allegiance. I went to University of Oregon, green colors, our rival Oregon State. Congratulations to them for winning the College World Series, but that's their colors. I can't be on an orange team. Can't do it. EF Education First, the Draft Pack Cannondale team. Novo Nordisk is one of the other teams dropping down. So these are all those teams going down to the Continental level, looking to sign me. Trek Segafredo, which on my previous playthrough from 2016 is who I ended up going and dethroning Rigoberto Urán as the team leader, or at least competing side by side with him for team leader in races. And then the United Healthcare team. United Healthcare team is the only one on this list that will actually be Continental Pro next year, or at least projected as Continental Pro. The rest of these are either Continental or World Tour, with each of the World Tour teams hanging on to their seats. Though BMC is very much in danger of losing that status. Trek is the next one on that list, in danger of losing their status. Bahrain Merida is all the way up at number 6. So they're actually one of the high ranked teams. So at least for American teams, as I'm an American rider and I didn't get to ride with them, here is Urán with them for next year. So I'd be going to that same sort of team, and that's kind of where I'm looking if I go World Tour. So really what I'm down to, and my team apparently can't afford to keep me. Possibly they don't expect to remain with that status of Continental Pro and remain as a Continental, and if they're Continental, they can't afford a rider of my quality, is probably the assumption. So I'm looking most likely at either going with the Education First team, who seems at 13 out of the 18, pretty secure in remaining World Tour, or going with United Healthcare and definitely competing 1 year at Continental Pro. And after last year's sudden jump to World Tour, I'm kind of thinking I want to do Continental Pro. So I might go with the UHC team. And what do they have for top riders? McCabe is a 71 and sprinter. Lachlan Norris is a climber at 70. I would definitely be above these guys, at least at what they have right now. Putt is also a sprinter. So I would go to the top of that team, but I would be competing for an American team and definitely competing at Continental Pro. The funny thing is they are only ranked 3 spots above my team currently. But my team is where it is because of me. They've had 10 wins the whole season. I have 6 of them. So I haven't done it alone, but I've brought in the bulk of the points. I'll be figuring that out here shortly and probably signing a contract with one of those 2 teams. See you back here momentarily. So, surprise entry to the World Championships, to the time trial. One of 4 Americans selected. However, just in the last couple of days, my fitness peak that never actually hit, I was just about to hit it. Suddenly, 52 kilometers, a couple of climbs, one pretty serious one here before the second checkpoint. Finish in the top 30. Wow, that's going to be tough to pull off today. I think Jos van Emden, best so far at the first checkpoint. And here we go. Alright, I do want to get up and over this first little climb to get a good start. Definitely toned it down on the flat. I don't mind losing a little bit of time there. Wow, Geraint Thomas all the way down in 14th. Schachmann goes to the lead now at the first checkpoint. We'll play this one at ×2. And I'm definitely spending more energy than saving, but I'll make some of that up here on the downhill. It's not much of a downhill though. Alright, I am starting to store some energy up in the bank quite a bit. I have been passed. So I'm obviously not going as fast as I could here on this first checkpoint. Let's see how we're looking. Not even on the top 20, 34th, 4 minutes 40 seconds down. And I just got passed again. So I do need to speed it up. I still have that extra energy in the bank, and I hope to really make up some time on that climb. Taylor Phinney slots into 18th. Rosskopf still 7th. At the second checkpoint, Steph Clement right now on top, just ahead of Quintana and Schachmann. I've been passed 3 times, really? Okay, here's the climb. And this is where I'm hoping to make up that time. As, look at that, we're just going to fly right by Alex Dowsett. We're going to fly by Le Bon. We're going to have a much better time here at the top. Up to 28th, 6:08 down. Okay, at the finish line right now, Schachmann is on top above of Clement. And Gorka Izagira, Quintana. Rosskopf still top 10, he's in 9th. Phinney's 19th at the finish line at the moment. And I have enough energy in the tank reserve-wise to go pretty hard here towards the end. This is another little downhill towards the finish. So hopefully I'm not overdoing it at an 84. 1.5K to go. There's the finish line. And there's the push. And look how much time we've picked up on these guys. Flying towards the end. Up to 26th, 5:18 down. So I actually gained a lot of time there at the end. Wasn't going hard enough early on. I was trying to save that energy. But we were definitely not on our best today. So 26th place at this point. Let's go ahead and speed through the rest. Outside of the top 30 now. Schachmann still hanging on. Sergio Henao, Koenig, Leopold Koenig on top now by 1 second over Schachmann. Craddock slots in just inside the top 20. Kwiatkowski, considerable lead. Richie Porte to second. Chris Froome is third. Castro Viejo has moved up. And Tony Martin takes second. So Michael Kwiatkowski is once again world champion. He won it, I don't know, 6 years back? Something like that. I really like that rider, by the way. Mikhail Kwiatkowski. Great rider. If he was on any other team, he would be the team leader. But, of course, riding for Sky, he puts in a fantastic work rate. He's got an engine in him that is really not matched by too many, so he really deserves that, so good for him. Tony Martin misses out by 4 seconds. Castro Viejo, so your usual suspects at the top. If they wanted me to be in the top 30, I mean, come on. Look at all the names that are up here. Well, Lawson Craddock, he managed 20th, so apparently I should have been able, but Geraint Thomas all the way in 29th. I mean, come on. Taylor Phinney, 43rd. Peter Sagan was 44th. The fact that I could almost put up the same time as Peter Sagan is pretty big. Very surprised to be selected here. Van Garderen, probably a team leader, or Craddock. Dombrowski. It is climber's day. And I'm the only one on a +1 for condition. Though Dombrowski and Craddock are a lot better off fitness-wise. Alright, well, we'll see what my role is. We're not going to watch this whole stage. There's no way I'm the team leader. And there's no way that I'm going to be anywhere near the finish. But to be selected as a 19-year-old kid for the World Championships. Letting the gap open up, though. It's out to 1.5 minutes. Looks like I've made it into the breakaway successfully. Over 2 minutes. And we are starting to let off the pace a little bit. 2.5 minutes.
Uh-oh, the gap is widening. It's now more
there we
than
go,
2
3
minutes.
minutes ahead.
The peloton seems content to let it grow. The
Right,
pack
so
really doesn't look
Sayun,
interested in following the breakaway. Things have slowed right down.
Augustson, Petersky, Frolinger. Okay, Rabic. I know that one. Sayun. But definitely lacking big names in the breakaway. So they assume that we are not going to be able to stay away. I would imagine they'd let us out to a pretty sizable lead, being that with this intensity of climbs, they can close us down real fast once they ramp up the pace. Race day condition is pretty fantastic today. +2s almost across the board, especially where it counts. Climbing 77 on the day. Downhills of 70. Stamina, resistance are all up.
Several riders are flat on the ground. certainly some sort of incident.
Yeah, they fell. It's raining. Brilliant detective work there.
Our rider has a flat tire. Let's hope he is helped out quickly.
Well, that doesn't help. Oh, Machado has withdrawn. And speed has picked up. Third time up and over the climb. Speed picks up. Meaning the peloton has ramped up their pace. And we've responded in kind. 6-minute lead. That's only 3 times over the climb. We've got 5 more to go, plus the final climb, the steepest. We're clearly going to hit our objective. Guaranteed, I will not be able to stay away. We're not going to win this thing from the front. You can see from whoever it is that's chasing, they've already cut the lead down by 3 minutes in a very short period of time, and just another 30 seconds just here on the flat, 40 seconds here on the flat. So leads down to just 2 minutes over whoever that rider is. We will not be able to stay away from them. No doubt about it. So I'm just happy for participation. Things are going right along. I've only got 1 or 2 races left in the year after this, so I'm very much wrapping things up. I will get my point total for the end of the season, but other than that, we are at the end of this video. So that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now. But here we are coming up to the finish line, and I certainly did get dropped massively. I was the last of the breakaway group, as we were caught by a secondary breakaway group that pulled a small field behind them. That small field behind them contains the winner, Nairo Quintana, with Nibali and Landa top 3. There's Kwiatkowski again, right near the top, 6th place for him. Just see how strong he is, but nothing but huge names in that top 20. I mean, the only kind of smaller-ish names, like Morabito, Roglic, but they're still all professional riders, so no amateurs in there, no continental riders like myself. But of the entire American team, I finished 2nd overall at 46th, while Joe Dombrowski was the only one to get ahead of me in 39th. So that is pretty solid for my first time at 19 years old at the World Championships and riding in the breakaway using up all kinds of extra energy.